lineouts.
They love to launch from their set piece. It's Emily Tutosi with the first throw, and down the back she goes for Fabiola Forteza. So Canada can quickly get into their work inside New Zealand's half. It's tucked in the back with their hooker, Tutosi. And now she's able to peel away. Here's Emily Tutosi's got such a nose for the try line. But it's been ripped away here by New Zealand. Joseph has to just check the run. It was actually Demand who got in there, so just restructure, reorganise for New Zealand, and now they should be able to bring away. It's a little untidy, but straight away, oh, Sorensen McGee tipped up by Corrigan coming forward. New Zealand looking to get to width early on. Now the forwards who carry up through Amy Rule, one of the many local players in this Black Ferns team today. Demand looks to send it away downtown. Claire Gallagher back for the Canadians, and well taken by Gallagher on halfway, looking to wind up and send it straight back at New Zealand, but straight into Chris Velicourt. Enterprising start from both teams as it's carried up by Brittany Castle. Rather, here's Castle beaten in a good tackle, or hit in a good tackle rather, by Rose. Backhand couldn't quite hold on, and ball spills forward. Scrappy start really from both sides. New Zealand looking to keep ball in hand. Now Ponsonby for Brunton, wrapping around Letty Younger. Here goes Amy Duplessis. New Zealand busting open for the first time. Dragged down by Peltier, but they're up to the 10-metre line. Sorensen McGee can't get around Simons. Hogan Rochester has a dig. New Zealand regroup to attack again, now with Alana Bremner.
Tackle! No hands.
Joseph brings it away for Demand again. Veliko will miss that. Mikaeli Tu'u comes off the knee. Oh, Brunt sits one down, and now Straightens goes back in field for Joseph, but Peltier somehow got herself in between ball and player and diffused the New Zealand attack.
First knocks off of red, then off of black.
But there was a knock on, and the first chance we've really seen New Zealand in attack, and they busted straight open.
Oh, we've already just had a mixture of everything, with Demand right back on at the beginning, getting the turnover, but the wraparound by the backs here with Amy Duplessis hitting that hole. She still had options, but just almost was a little bit confused on where they were. But then here again, we just got a little bit scrappy with the passes here, but Brunt, get off me. Away she goes. We want to see more of that today, and just the offload just not quite there yet, but good opportunity for Canada to really get out of their red zone here.
Crouch!
Brunt and Duplessis, obviously players really wanting to stamp their mark on those midfield positions, with Waka and Setefano breathing down their necks. Great start to the game for them.
Joseph feeds the scrum on the 22, and out she comes to the left, bouncing away for Sylvia Brunt. What a menacing start she has made. Just stopped again. Joseph looks now for her forward run as it comes in the form of Veliko. Next one around is Ponsonby. New Zealand very much pressing early here. Now Mikaeli Tu'u didn't play last week against Australia. Keep coming right for Maya Roos. Up to the 5-metre line. Canada having to defend, and defend hard early. Bremner just a couple of metres short. Joseph again surveys the options, and it comes for Rule. Chop tackle made is a good one, but it's quick from Veliko. New Zealand just a couple of metres away. Bakan almost getting it back for Canada. Joseph looks for the next runner. Demand, they go through the hands. Woodman, Wycliffe, Duplessis, Sorensen McGee. 2 tries on debut, and now she gets another. Braxton Sorensen McGee.
Oh, she's full of confidence, this girl. Who would have think that she has scored 3 tries in 2 games at 18 years old? She is sparkling, she is thriving. It's just the accuracy of pass here. Portia Woodman there in the centres, giving the offload there, and just a shove off that fend from Braxton Sorensen McGee. She may be small in stature, but she is strong. And Asia Hogan-Rochester is not someone that usually gets brushed off those tackles, so what a great start by the Black Ferns.
Oh, slick passing from the back, but you got to take it back to the forwards. It was them with their hard carries, their tough carries, which are connecting in and bringing in those Canadian defenders, which meant that there was an overlap out to that left-hand side. The likes of Veliko with some really good carries, as well as Bremner.
Bit of a breeze picking up that flag in the background, the back of Dement at the moment. This one from wide. Ruahei, Dement, oh, slots a lovely kick. That's a nice start for the co-captain. And New Zealand overall, 7 points to 0.
Braxton Sorensen-McGee had 10 carries, 133 metres with ball in hand. She is unstoppable at this moment of time. She's playing incredible footy in that black jersey.
Tessia sends it away. It just does hang up in that wind before being brought down by Mikailu Tu'u. So New Zealand with another chance to get hands on ball. Dement again for Bremner. And again, they look to launch here through Duplessis, shoveling along. Letzienga catches up with it on the floor, but did lose control. New Zealand forcing a couple of passes, but seeing that slight change and that willingness to go back to the DNA they've talked about and getting to width.
You can see just a little bit more movement off ball this time from the back, so we didn't see much of that against Australia last weekend. But Amy Duplessis, she saw the hole. She probably could have given it just a smidge earlier so she didn't have that pressure in contact. So great defence by Canada there. But yeah, a little bit of a fumble there for Canada to turn hopefully this territory into some points.
You can almost guarantee the Black Ferns are going to run it every time they're in this end of the field. So defensively, Canada know they just need to disrupt and try and get in the eye line, which is what they did there.
Yep. Here we go.
First scrum of the match.
We need
Canada's
patience.
scrum.
Wait for my call, please.
And at 100% against the USA 2 weeks ago. They won 3 scrum penalties as well.
Thank you.
It's been an area that they've been able to set their stock on, wanting to also show that they're an expansive team too. So this is a chance to launch from that set piece.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Peltier brings it away, and Gabby Semp just bounces out the back, but it was well read and a good spot tackle made by Layla Sae. So New Zealand play under advantage. Here's a first touch for Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe with ball in hand.
That's fine. She's rolling out to the side, but we had a
We'll
knock
go
on.
back to the original knock-on, and the tackle made by Layla Sae.
Yeah, brilliantly read by Layla Sae. She just timed it perfectly off the scrum. And this is just a small glimpse of what you can see of Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe today in the black jersey. She just absolutely powers through that defence. The turnover was actually good there by Canada. So we'll go back for the knock-on.
Well, let's talk about that scrum, because Canada had the big push there, didn't they? And you've got to look at the front rowers, you know, 2 of them playing for the Exeter Chiefs, a couple of them from Saracens and whatnot. So they're playing in that Premiership Women's Rugby competition, which is rubbing shoulders with some of the best in England.
And they've got a good shove on here, and Joseph has to dig it out, or Canada's scrum really starting to stand some authority, but New Zealand just come away with it with Woodman-Whitcliffe. Joseph for Dement, out she goes once more, and this time it's Brunt who puts it on the boot, sends a raking kick downfield, a long way back for Julia Shell to recover from. Chance for the fullback to get into the game. Comes away for Peltier, the experienced halfback. Here's experience in Bakan, back in the side after a couple of years away. Fabiola Forteza makes a nice charge up the middle. Now Tutosi, quick transfer for Peltier. Courtney O'Donnell, Courtney Holtkamp, newly married Courtney O'Donnell. Tutosi, out for Gallagher. And now Shell spins a lovely ball wide for Hogan Rochester, who's really deceptive, but good tackle made by Brunt. Nice phase building here from the Canadians as it just breaks down. Royer tried to force it through to Bakan and didn't quite connect.
It was actually quality continuity there by Canada, getting the offloads into ball. Karen Bakan, that's on the screen there. She's the oldest on the field, 37 years, but man, she comes with power. She comes with experience and hunger, but a great tackle there by Brunt. She will always put the shoulders on and give you a little bit of a stinger no matter what game it is.
What was quite interesting in that sequence of play from Canada is that they weren't interested in going to ground and creating a breakdown. They were always looking for another runner, but there's a quick pick and go or getting that offload away, because we know how dangerous the Black Ferns can be when it comes to Jackley and to stealing that ball. So smart play from Canada, unfortunately just knocking that on.
Joseph brings it away for Demand. Again, short ball for Brunt to crash forward into Tessier. Letty Inga looking to get herself involved, or Duplessis had made the run. Sorensen McGee, good tackle on Corrigan, who was able to get up and go again, and New Zealand concede a penalty.
Yeah, Corrigan identified that she wasn't held, so she was able to continue after the tackle by Sorensen McGee, which then obviously gave Canada a little bit of momentum. Tessier with the kick here for a little bit of territory. Their lineouts are quality, so we need to see some movement off the ball here from them. But yeah, ball just didn't quite go to hand there to Amy Duplessis, which meant that the Black Ferns had to scramble back.
Push the line out, pick up the scraps.
First penalty conceded in the match. It was an area of concern for New Zealand last week. Tutosi's to the middle. Off the top they go for Royer. Straight up through the middle, away from Ponsonby, just dragged down by Joseph and Tukuafu. What a charge from Leticia Royer. Now Peltier looks for the runners, finds it in the former Castle. Canada's turn to get hard onto attack with O'Donnell. Peltier picking up Pakan, dragged down by Rule down low. Tukuafu over the top. There's a hole for Dalika, minute to stretch and score. Canada bust through the heart of New Zealand's defence.
Absolute quality from Canada. Dalika Menon, we actually identified her as the MVP last year against the Black Ferns. Lost, but here we go. The break immediately by Royer. She is absolutely on fire. She was high on those stats last week against USA. And just a good quick ball here for Menon just to shoot that hole. Veliko just didn't come across fast enough. Demand was on her own, and when you've got a first five against a prop, I think I know who's going to win.
I remember interviewing a very tearful and overwhelmed Menon last year after that historic win, and she was all over the place last year. This year, picking it up again.
Julia Shell chips over the conversion, so after 13 minutes we are all tied up between New Zealand and Canada, 7-all.
And Michaela, you keep speaking about how accurate that line-out was. Well, that's exactly where that try started from. That ball in from Tutosi was pinpoint accurate, and then getting that run from Royer was off the back of a set-piece execution.
They actually won 71% of their own lineouts against USA, compared to the Black Ferns, who only won 44%. So it's a lot of work in the background that they've done on their lineout to gain position and get some momentum off them.
Demand sends the restart down deep into Canada's 22, where Claire Gallagher fields it, puts it on the toe, and it's here for Sorensen McGee, and the young fullback is just going to run it straight back. Oh, Corrigan's got in this for Canada, though, just going to come New Zealand's way. Ponsonby. Little short ball for Veliko, just a miscommunication between the front rowers. And New Zealand coughing up possession, and Canada looking to punish them. Tessier. Simons had made the run, just couldn't find it. There's Flo Simons, and that's a little rushed as well.
Okay.
So they'll come all the way back to the original knock-on from New Zealand, who, having started the game brightly, have just lost their way a little bit in the last few minutes.
Yeah, just a bit of miscommunication between Georgia Ponsonby and Chris Veliko. If she got ball to hand there, she could have been a bit dangerous, but they just looked like they were a little bit confused, a little bit of miscommunication. But look at that time in opposition, 22, 58 seconds compared to the 20 seconds. And Canada scored immediately when they gained position in that 22-metre. The territory and the possession is also just going either way. So it's anyone's game at this point.
That was a massive gap. It's fair. Should be fine. Nine, make sure you're starting next to her. Crouch!
comes away for Peltier, looks to go straight down this blind side. Oh, Gallagher just got stopped by Joseph. A little caught in two minds, and Canada have handed possession back here to New Zealand. And they look to launch quickly into attack. Brunt for Duplessis. Now Sorensen McGee coming into that line and adding the width. Good tackle, Simons. Didn't allow Sorensen McGee to release Letienga. Demand this time, pulling the strings. McGalley took her out the back, quick hands, but they don't connect once more. So Letienga has to go back to tidy up again. New Zealand losing a bit of ground. Mikaeli Tu'u again. Busy opening quarter for her.
Don't play the 9.
Ponsonby, Brunt, and now the hole for Sorensen McGee. Hogan Rochester grabbed her, releasing Tukuafu though. Now Shell gets on it straight away and steals it off Tukuafu. She was lightning onto that Julia Shell. Tessier tries to turn New Zealand around. Player down, getting some treatment, and back play was Brunt. And Sorensen McGee goes forward again. Joseph digs it out for Roos. Now Demand looking to get some space in behind in the backfield for Canada. Letienga bearing down on this one and absolutely smokes Claire Gallagher coming through. Canada needs support, and it comes in the form of Corrigan. They've done well. Tessier now. Oh, it's lively. Plenty happening. Tessier got hammered as well after the fact. Roos. Very open and an ugly bounce for New Zealand. Simons keeps it alive for Senft. Now Hogan Rochester. Almost through the New Zealand defences too. They go again. Shell.
Tackle!
Into the pile of bodies. O'Donnell. Canada settle it with some ball carriers, but some big hits keep coming. Peltier will clear away for Tessier. Now Gallagher, a little bit of room here for Simons, a little bit of width, and she's got good space and pace. Good tackle though, Demand, and nicks it away. Right in front of the New Zealand bench now, Corrigan's stolen it. Well, both teams guilty of giving up possession at the breakdown. That's a tricky one, and now Canada lose ground. Shell. Looking for someone to settle things down. Hogan Rochester. Gallagher. It's a sapping period of play being played on either side of halfway at the moment. And as O'Donnell hits the turf. And a penalty eventually comes, or something had to give somewhere, and it came in the form of a penalty against New Zealand.
3 minutes, 20 seconds of constant rugby. We had a bit of everything. Turnover by Shell on Tukuafu. Quick tap, we're on.
Of course we are. Here goes Pakan. Karen Pakan spinning out of a couple. All that experience. She's so rugged, but she's lost possession. Duplessis spins out of a couple and pins off a couple of metres, and guess what? The ball's been stolen backwards. Now Simons for Corrigan on the edge.
Slipping.
Peltier. Pakan again. Up to the 10-metre line. Canada back in New Zealand's territory. Men in the try scorer for Tessier. Now they've got numbers wide if they can get it there, and they can. With Laetitia Royer dragged down. Hogan Rochester gets rid of one. She's slippery. Gallagher up over the 22. Tukuafu's got on that. Yes, she has, and won the penalty.
Oh, what exhausting rugby we got going on here, but co-cap Kennedy Tukuafu, she's always going to be the one that will stand up for her team and rescue everyone with a brilliant turnover. But it came back from the tap here from Karen Pakan, who just went. I think in any other game, everyone would have had a break, but they just kept on going. It's obvious that Canada are wanting to get on top of the Black Ferns' fatigue and just keep them moving. Who can get tired first? But, man, unbelievable patches of play that we've had in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, blink and you'll miss it. That's exactly what's happening here. And the crowd, they're going on a roller coaster of emotions. You can hear the ebbing and flowing. It's the oohs and ahs all over the place. It is just such a high-tempo game, and you're right, Michaela, they're wanting to go quickly. But how sustainable this will be or remains to be seen.
Lineouts were an issue for New Zealand last week against Australia, and that one's not going to go New Zealand's way either. It's just because Bremner got there quickest to the loose ball. Demand is going to concede the penalty there, just got isolated. Didn't have really a whole lot of options but to hold on there. Ruahei Demand.
Block.
Yeah, she just immediately got isolated, and Karen Pakan, she's always going to sniper those rucks when there's no one else around them. She's an experienced Canadian rugby player, played multiple 7 series as well back in the day. 14 ball carries, 16 successful tackles, so off both sides, she is a worker for Canada.
There is Karen Pakan. 3 Rugby World Cups, Olympics bronze medalist with the Canadian team in 2016. Canada and New Zealand, the only 2 Sevens teams to have won multiple women's Olympic medals. Of course, the gold medal match in Paris last year, which many of these Canadians were part of. Here's Menon. Oh, New Zealand got in, yeah, Ponsonby it was. Breakdown work over the ball from both sides has been impressive.
Yeah, Georgia Ponsonby does what Georgia Ponsonby does. She was immovable over that ruck just then, going for the breakdown, going for the turnover, sorry. There's been plenty of them, so the speed off the ground by both teams has been extremely impressive for them to get the ball back in the ruck immediately. So it's obviously been something they're working on back in training.
Yeah, it's also a high-tempo game, though. It just means people are isolated often. You could see here they were just able to get on top quickly because the cleaners were too slow to get there.
This time it's brought down by Roos. Quick ball off the top for New Zealand. Now with Brunt short for Mikaeli Tu'u, crashing into Tessier. Layla Sayed gets rid of the first defender. It takes a couple to drag her down, but Royer had a good go at that too.
Play the line.
Opportunities for pilfering around those rucks. Villicorp. Demand again will take the ball to the line. New Zealand keep coming left, this time a pump ball over the top for Tukuafu. Oh, just rolls over the top of the defender, Hogan Rochester. And now New Zealand back on the front foot. Mikaeli Tu'u through a hole, holds on. Bremner can't grab that one though. And it breaks down for New Zealand. Canada try and spread from their own goal line. Through Flo Simons, weaving her way around through the defence one way and the other, just lost her footing. Did Simons. But Canada certainly showing a willingness to run as well. Castle squeezes it back. And now Gallagher will just settle it down. A raking kick to Sorensen McGee. Letty Ienga beats the first defender. Stolen, again dispossessed. In the contact, in the contest. Simons and Corrigan have looked really lively down this side, and that one will just roll into touch off the boot of Alicia Corrigan. Oh, is she arguing the point about it going out on the full?
We have to say that. Kennedy Tukuafu getting over the top of Hogan Rochester. She is very strong, hard to stop, but we've got a bit of injury going on in the background.
We good?
You've got to play it down here. It looks like it might be Georgia Ponsonby. It is. Just clutching at her knee. Right, you can see that there. So we will have some time off to discuss things. And it has been such a high-tempo game, as we've mentioned so many times. So a very timely breather for these teams. You can see all the coaches are in there. Well, the water carriers, should I say, who are always coaches, are in there delivering the messages. Plenty to be discussed.
Hogan Rochester is getting some treatment too for Canada. Ponsonby, thankfully back up on her feet. It's that time of the season, that time of year where everyone gets a little nervy around injuries as well.
Oh, and you got a pretty big tournament coming up. We've got tickets available next Saturday, Black Ferns versus USA, live in Albany at North Harbour Stadium. That will be a great game for obviously both Black Ferns and USA as their preparation for the World Cup continues. USA are playing Australia after this game tonight against the Wallaroos, so we've got some quality football coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Scan that QR code to get your tickets for that match at Albany next week. USA and Australia, as Michaela said, coming from Canberra in the Pac 4 after this one, and the teams will swap places.
Okay, time is back on.
Welcome into our viewers in Canada on TSN and on Rugby Pass around the world as well as it comes away for New Zealand. 7-all, 25 minutes gone, and what has been a pulsating test where ball security hasn't been at the highest for both teams, and it's come back out the other way. Paquin. Gallagher. Again, well left by Corrigan to find Forteza on the edge. There's Brittany Castle. Nice little short ball from Menon to O'Donnell.
It's under your own player.
Canada just to build a little bit more here, Tessia.
Okay, advantage.
Now Simons, who's been really lively. First test at centre.
Penalty advantage, offside.
And they've got advantage here out in New Zealand. They'll get a second because that's high from Woodman Whitcliffe on Hogan Rochester. And that just discipline that was an issue for New Zealand last week is starting to creep in a little here.
Offside.
Yeah, they had 15 penalties conceded last weekend. 3 of them were from being offside. And so it is a common trend. They're obviously trying to bring line speed off the ruck, which is causing them to getting their timing just a little bit off there. But we haven't seen much of their line speed in this game this afternoon. Canada have been able to create a little bit more depth, so they've had more time to be able to attack with the ball.
Well, touching on your point before, Ricky, there's been multiple ball handling errors, and it's because they're forcing the pass. They're just playing a little bit desperate at the moment when they don't need to be.
Yeah, and these are also two teams who their first test matches since October were only a couple of weeks ago. That one's gone straight to ground, but backwards. Tessia, the captain. For Simons once more, very deep, the Canadians now. Shell can't get around Duplessis, but the offload there for Simons, that's high too, or at least around the shoulder from Brunt, but play on. Peltier. Out the back it goes. Now Gallagher. Here's Gabrielle Senft. A lot of ball getting to the edges for both teams. Joseph slow to roll out, but no penalty forthcoming. O'Donnell. Roos is trying to get on this for New Zealand and has got on it for the Black Ferns. So they look to counter here. Ponsonby with demand, thought about the kick, but goes to Duplessis, who does put boot to ball. Down the throat of Julia Shell. Backwards it's gone. Shell pumps it back, but there was in fact a knock on by Julia Shell. So a net gain for New Zealand.
A great turnover there by Maya Kaiwana-Kalani-Roos. She hunts the ball all the time in every game. She just is able to get a low centre of gravity and a low body to be able to get over to that turnover, but the tackle there by Brunt as well, just to allow Roos to have that time to sniper for the ball and then able to attack with it. The Black Ferns were a little bit flat from that turnover, so they weren't able to get a little bit of momentum going off it, but luckily for the knock-on from Julia Shell, they're able to get some territory and possession here.
Yeah, Shell just misjudged the kick, and it is to do with those conditions because the wind is starting to swirl. Remember, the Black Ferns haven't kicked too much considering it isn't behind them, but I tell you, it is still perfect conditions here. Very, very little dew on the ground.
Demand once more just holds it up this time instead of giving to Brunt. Paquin had hands on it, but there it is, another little hole for Duplessis. Good tackle by Simons. Sae in support. Layla Sae, so abrasive, so combative with ball in hand, but she's been dispossessed as well.
Tackle now!
And once again, New Zealand let Canada have more time in possession with Asia Hogan-Rochester. Keeps it in field just about. Does well, does Fabiola Fatiza. It feels frantic from both teams. Now Peltier looking to raise the game again. O'Donnell, hands were good enough. But Canada lose 10 metres as Simons can't get away from her opposite. Alex Tessier again gives it away for Gabrielle Senft. Real standout against the USA a couple of weeks ago. Tessier just looks to peel off a bit of territory as it's fielded by Sorensen McGee. Letienga back for the teenage fullback. Find a willingness to get involved. Veliko. Nice quick hands, blunt for Alana Bremner. Really good in these wide channels is Bremner. Duplessis. It's again frantic, so Dement just goes straight up through the middle, loses control. It's gone backwards, and that's because the tackle was high. But you can just see the big intakes of breath. This has been played at a clip and perhaps at times too frantic.
Oh, it's just been brutal rugby for 30 minutes. Entering that last 10 minutes of the first half, you can see a little bit of fatigue kicking in. But the Black Ferns have just been able to hold on to the ball for long periods of time, which is creating Canada to scramble back. The line break there from Bremner, allowing them to just be able to get into the green zone there. Line out 5 metres out. I mean, there's only one answer to this, right? You'd expect a driving maul.
They've got to hit the target first. And that's what Georgia Ponsonby does. They go off the back and Mikaeli Tu'u loses control. Oh, she's going to get away with this, saying that one's gone backwards. Rule. That even looks a little loose. Eventually to ground.
Hold!
Joseph calls upon her runners. It's Roos. Canada shoot up. Tukuafu. Bremner, nice quick pick and go this time with Say in support. Senft does well to get in to disrupt here. Going to struggle to roll out of there. Gabrielle Senft, at least trying to. Tukuafu again, New Zealand wanting to keep it in tight this time.
No hands now.
Test the Canadian defences in close.
Advantage.
They've got advantage here as well. Veliko goes forward. Say it, no way through. Again, this well-organised Canadian defence, the number 2 team in the world. Joseph, they look to spread. Demand for Letienga on the edge. They kept it tight and they went to their powerhouse winger, Aisha Letienga.
We know that when this girl gets the ball in hand, something will happen. 2 tries last weekend against the Wallaroos, 1 against Canada tonight, but it was the patience game by the forwards, just biding their time, holding ball in hand, and with minimal space, that fend to the face. Get over the white line. You know that if she's going to be that close, Aisha Letienga will fight for it.
Well, it's felt as if it's coming one way or the other. Something had to give. After the last 15 minutes or so of play, New Zealand forwards went to work and it allowed Aisha Letienga on the edge. Demand, that one's going to stay well left. So the try will go unconverted, but New Zealand go back in front. 12 points to 7. There's 7 minutes to go in the first half.
I understand. I was saying release.
First 2 games for the Black Ferns has been a little bit of the Braxton Sorensen McGee and Aisha Letienga show. Both getting 2 tries against the Wallaroos last weekend. 1 each tonight. Let's see if they continue for the rest of the game.
Canada send it down to New Zealand's halfback Maya Joseph. Here's the co-captain Kennedy Tsukuafu. Just squeeze that back slowly.
Take them back in.
Demand. We're seeing a little bit more of that pragmatic approach from New Zealand. Willing to play the percentages. It goes down to Shell. Julia Shell evades the first defender, but brings it up over the 10-metre line for the Canadians to attack with Tutosi. Hit in a good tackle by Veliko and Ponsonby. Now Pakan, busy again. Oh, Royer just lost the handle on it, and New Zealand looked to counter quickly here a little bit for Letieng. A one-way through, another offload for Ponsonby, who's got a great turn of pace before we're loose forward. New Zealand surging forward again. Letieng, Duplessis, Canadians scrambling back. Demand again, Bremner. Canada reorganised in defence, but New Zealand keeping it alive with Sylvia Brunt, who has been in the thick of it. Oh, Tessier. And Canada...
It's a high tackle. There's a high tackle.
Will concede the penalty for the high tackle. A couple of those offloads starting to stick for New Zealand now too.
Yeah, they're starting to able to get offloads into hand, allowing them to run a little bit more. Sylvia Brunt, we didn't see much of her last weekend. She's starting to shine a little bit now, just running through those holes. But the penalties, 4 each for Canada and the Black Ferns. In saying that, there's been multiple turnovers in this game where the play has continued. So those numbers could be higher, but you can see the offload game that the Black Ferns are trying to play. Brunt with the step and the fend. That's actually quite a hard skill to do when you've got 6 defenders around you. But yeah, the tackle was just a smidge too high off Tessier. You could see that she was trying to get a good hit on to try and get a turnover, but just unfortunately didn't go to plan.
I'm surprised the Black Ferns have gone for this decision. It was a kick right out in front, but they're going to back themselves with a midfield scrum evenly split. You can see 2 playmakers in behind, then 2 players left and right. They need to score from this after turning down a very kickable 3.
Just 4 minutes out from half-time. Scrum will set. It started to move, but it's there for Joseph, looking to come around and sweep on the edge. Demand can't find Sorensen McGee. So it just breaks down ever so slightly. New Zealand have to regroup. Allows Canada's time to reset in defence. Roos. Royer is trying to have a good go at that too. Once more in the contest, it's with Chris Veliko. Slow ball again, and Canada turn this over. New Zealand turn down points, and Canada are going to go quickly. Away they go. It's hoofed downfield by Claire Gallagher for Corrigan to chase. Sits up eventually for Letieng, who got crunched by Pakan just as she released the ball. And now Tessier will settle it down and look for the safety of the touchline, sending it downfield. It doesn't go out, and somehow it stays in. Letieng has stayed down after that tackle. Shell now. It's enterprising and it's ambitious, it's rugged. Canada once more just looking to launch an attack again. Simons this time for Corrigan. Gets rid of Sayet. Can't get through Demand. Good surge from Alicia Corrigan once more. Trouble here, yeah, gonna have to stop.
Move the player down.
This is from a long way back. This is Letieng. The tackle on site looked okay. We'll see it now.
I think she just got knocked the absolute wind out of her. Bumper right in the ribs. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Pakan, she's got those shoulders to make those hits. She's unbelievably powerful and so strong, mentally and physically, this woman. But good to see that Letieng is back on her feet.
It was unwise from Canada actually to take it closer to where she was down, because they were essentially playing against 14 women. Had they kept it on this side and just chucked a little bit further ahead and then gone wide, they would have had that overlap which they had found on this left-hand side too.
Just over 90 seconds till half-time. Canada will feed the scrum. Midfield and just on New Zealand's 10 metres on New Zealand side of halfway. Justine Peltier brings it away for Tessier. Pumping crop over the top again. Hogan Rochester is just so determined every time they carry. Asia Hogan Rochester, now Pakan. Canada close to the line, close to half-time. Tessier looking for Simon's great distribution. And Asia Hogan Rochester goes over in the corner. Well worked from the Canadians. And Asia Hogan Rochester with the finish.
We've seen her do this multiple times on the Sevens World Series. She is shining, full of confidence over these last couple of years, but it was the speed of ball of play that Canada kept to with the strong carries by Pakan. You can see the halfback there, Pelletier calling for the ball, and Tessier, and then Simons offloading wide, just keeping the ball alive, not wanting to go to ground or set a ruck. It's causing the Black Ferns defense to just absolutely scramble. Great team try by Canada.
Gotta say it, Simons, Hogan Rochester, Corrigan, women who have come from that 7 series and gone straight into the team. We are yet to see them come for the Black Ferns, and it's going to show just how quickly the impact the Canadian women have had from that Sevens program.
Julia Schell from wide, and it'll stay wide too, so nothing separates New Zealand and Canada at the moment. 12 all, the seconds out until half-time. Asia Hogan Rochester, well, it might be glitter on the face, but she is gritty in the mindset. Outstanding this 7 season. Absolutely deserving the plaudits that have been received.
How crucial is that 3 that they turned down going to be, Ricky?
Oh, we're going to have time for a restart here. See what the attitudes are on either side. It has been a torrid 40.5 minutes. Pakan. And they will go into half-time after an enthralling first half of Pacific 4 rugby. The number 2 and number 3 teams in the world, and they can't be separated at the break. It's New Zealand 12, Canada 12 at half-time in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. As we see the Canadian side come out, they have made one change at half-time. Asia Hogan Rochester, who scored the try to equalise on the break, comes off, and a number 23, her fellow Olympic silver medalist, Fancy Bermudez, into the fray. Bermudez, 1/3 of the group known as the Meatballs within this Canadian team. Peltier, Gallagher and Bermudez, small but mighty is how they portray it. New Zealand, no changes at the break, but probably want to see a little bit more of this woman in space.
Yeah, absolutely. Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe, we know how dangerous that she is, but she's just been shut down and not given a lot of opportunity to really run with ball in hand. So hopefully in the second half we'll see a little bit more of that.
And then just in the rucks, they're actually like holding onto the ball. You can't see it, but it's just too slow for us. Cool. Fair enough. Thank you very much. Cool.
Just a last little message there, Kennedy Tukuafu having a chat to the referee, Kat Roach, as we get ready to go in the second half. Canada, the defending Pacific 4 champions.
Okay.
The rematch of last year, and it's just as tight. Ruahei Demant, the New Zealand co-captain, gets the second half underway, 40 minutes to play at Apollo Project Stadium in Christchurch, as Julia Schell just looks to the sideline and makes a really good early exit for Canada.
Line, please.
Taylor Johnson down sideline, just getting a check on the conditions as the sun starts to go down and the lights take effect.
Oh, look, still wonderful conditions to play, and you can't ask for anything better. In fact, the wind has also held up a bit now, so Canada thought they had it behind them for the second half, but it's all but disappeared.
New Zealand's line out again lets them down, and Canada have possession once more with Alex Tessier, the captain. Able to go for Schell. Put down in a good tackle by Duplessis. Peltier thought about the short side for Corrigan, but comes out open. And now Gallagher.
Tackle!
Justine Peltier, the experienced halfback, goes back in field for Claire Gallagher. Pakan sends it along, but just a disconnect, and Simons has to tidy up. So Corrigan will look to get a little bit of go forward, just straightening up. Talika Mena will try score it in the first half. Nice and safe so far from the Canadians now. Gallagher just a little chip in behind here, a bit of space behind the New Zealand defence. Eventually Duplessis gets to it. And New Zealand get back in numbers to support.
Use it!
It's with Alana Bremner. Demand across the face for Veliko. Hard and direct, Chris Veliko. Always takes a second effort to bring her to ground. Short this time. Burrowing forward. Now Demand. Brunt. Short ball for Sorensen. McGee now Woodman Wycliffe almost over the top of them. But not quite enough room. Corrigan did enough and the New Zealanders ran out of space.
Yeah, Alicia Corrigan just did a smidge of enough just to stop Portia Woodman-Wycliffe from running into that space. Just a slight trip up. But again, that is a glimpse of what we can sense from Portia Woodman-Wycliffe. We can feel the energy every time she touches the ball. Look at that, 24 matches, 38 tries. An unbelievable legend of the game. Done an incredible impact for women's sport in general as well. Got Letitia Royer getting a little bit of attention. She's also someone that makes a huge difference in this Canada team. 5 carries and 47 metres made in this game alone. Last week against USA, she was at 24 attack ruck arrivals, which was the most overall in the Pac-4 series. So she is a hard worker for her Canada team and has been tonight as well.
Oh, she also had 8 defensive ones too, so in total she had more ruck arrivals than any other person in the competition. Quite remarkable as Royer.
Tutossi brings it down for Forteza, but New Zealand got up and contested. Put some pressure on Canada's line out for the first time. It wobbles. So New Zealand will have the option and they'll take the scrum just on Canada's side of halfway.
Yeah, uncanny mistake there by Emily Tutossi. Their line-out was very successful against USA and has been in the past as well. So very, very rare, but the opportunity here. We've seen the Black Ferns off a scrum just use Demand as a little bit of a ball player, and then she just has her options on her inside or outside. Amy Duplessis out wide there, Sorensen McGee on her outside too, but we've actually got Brunt is a little bit closer than usual as well, so could be spreading it wide there.
This scrum's going to be interesting because we did see Canada really dominated the Black Ferns when it came to scrum time, had them on the back foot. And while I was walking back to the tunnel for the interviews, Chris Veliko was having a little committee meeting with Kate Henwood and Tanya Kolonavale, just discussing the tactics. So let's see if she has been able to adjust.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Comes out quickly for Joseph to bring it away for Demand, and now a straight ball for Brunt, a straight line rather. Gets New Zealand on the front foot. Around comes Mikaeli Tu'u, out for Demand. A little hold-up ball here for Letienga. On the edge, Tessier comes across. Simons brings her down. Able to get up and go again though, and up to the 22 is Aisha Letienga. It's slow for Joseph. New Zealand regroup with Bremner. Stopped by her opposite O'Donnell. Now it comes for Demand, and now Rule on an angled run. Amy Rule, haven't seen her with a lot of ball in hand. The Matatu Southlander. Maya Roos tips it away. Sayer, and it's Bermudez who wins the race to the contest on the ground. Fancy Bermudez grabs possession back for Canada, and New Zealand's attack comes to nothing. Oh, big clear out from Brunt.
Counter was good.
And they'll go back to the initial knock on. And some of those passes just not finding the hand.
Yeah, just that last bit of execution. That's kind of been the common trend of this game for the Black Ferns, just getting that last pass going to ground. Just miscalculating where the player is. You can see they're doing a lot of wrap around the backs, and that's something that was a little bit different compared to the game against Wallaroos. They were quite static, whereas this time there's a lot more movement of the ball to allow them to engage defenders and hit the holes on the outside, but they need that last pass to stick for that to actually work off.
Crouch! Check! Bind! Set!
Penalty, scrum penalty goes to Canada, straight down the New Zealand front row. Right in front of Cat Roach on that side.
We talked about Canada's line out multiple times, but with their scrum, they also won 100% of their own scrum against USA. So set piece as a whole is very strong for Canada.
Time off, subs.
First changes for the Black Ferns. It's a big congratulations to Tanya Kolonavale running on for her 20th cap, replacing Amy Rule. That's the side of the scrum that went down. And then Kaipo Olsen-Baker, she had a mammoth game last week. 19 tackles, 17 carries, the most for the Black Ferns. She comes on and replaces Layla Sayed. So interesting to see if she packs out at 8 or at 6.
Totosi finds the mark at the back, and away come Canada with Gabrielle Semp. Great carry from the number 8. Has to get Olsen-Baker straight into her work. Peltier, little snipe dart from the halfback. Canada into New Zealand territory again with Brittany Castle. These teams really well matched, number 2 and number 3 in the world, with that number 2 ranking on the line as well. Tessier. And now for Simons, again coming from deep, creating some space. Oh, Shell pops a ball for Corrigan and then loses control just as Dement came across at her. Had a look up, Alicia Corrigan, and the ball spilled clear. But Canada creating space to exploit New Zealand wide.
Okay. If you feed that ball straight,
yeah, Alicia Corrigan.
Against you, you understand?
Seen this multiple times on the 7th series, but it just slipped out of her hand. But that demonstrates how much dew is probably starting to come onto the field now with the sun gone down, a little bit colder, so the ball could be a little bit more slippery in the second half. So handling errors are going to have to go down for accuracy to go up for both teams.
Well, Kelly, you spoke about the line speed of the Black Ferns. Well, that's actually what burnt them there, because when you shoot up, you have to make that tackle. And because they had shot up so quickly and then Canada was able to get on the outside, it was what allowed them to get up so high and to make that break. So they need to be judicious as to when they bring their line speed up like that.
Well, the ruck was pretty much on the 10-metre, and then they were able to get the depth way back to the other 10-metre as well. And so Canada's obviously been doing their homework. They identified the line speed that the Black Ferns bought, and so by having that little bit of depth, it allows them a little bit more time to carry into a bit of space. But it does mean that you've got to eat up those metres a little bit more with that depth. So ball to hand and they'll get those metres back.
Scrum holds steady this time for New Zealand, and Joseph can clear. And Dement just looks to peel off some metres with a really good kick downfield. Corrigan got an awkward bounce and it's sent her deep inside her own 22. Trouble here for Corrigan as she runs into Brunt. Woodman Wycliffe, the cavalry came in really well for Canada. Totosi. They got back in numbers to support Corrigan, and that'll allow Gallagher to clear, deflected off a New Zealand hand and into the arms of Ruahei Dement. Ponsonby just had to brace as Roya flew it up.
No hands!
Veliko. New Zealand looking to build, but Olsen-Baker's dropped it cold and the pressure coming on.
Yep. 9 black.
Another change for the Black Ferns, and I like this one because I'm a big fan of the way Eritana Hohaia controls the game. She's lightning quick, but she's also a threat with ball in hand as well. So Maya Joseph, she's done her job for the evening, takes a seat on the bench. But Eritana Hohaia, she is electric. Watch out for her to really break this game open.
Thank you.
Well, she just brings a little bit of Taranaki flair as well. So she's an impressive player from the southern region. Very proud region back home in that Hawara area.
Canada
They've
also.
produced some incredible players, Hawara.
You always got to give a poke for Taranaki, don't you, Michaela?
You know it, Taylor, you know it.
McKinley Hunt, she comes on too and replaces Brittany Castle, who has put in a mountain of work as well. Brittany Hunt's first game back for Canada in 2025, so she'll be relishing this opportunity.
Another experienced player to bring in too. Played for Saracens in the PWR, who were beaten in the final by Gloucester Hartpury. Many of these Canadian players competing in that competition. And now it's New Zealand's turn to get a shove on with a massive scrum, but they've shoved straight up. And they'll concede the penalty.
Striding up.
It was clear and obvious. You saw the front row literally up off their feet. The Black Ferns well and truly guilty there of standing up too early and pushing up.
So it allowed Alex Tessier just to punch Canada downfield, down towards halfway.
Just let me know when it's the next scrum, guys.
It's moments like that where I just say to myself, I'm very glad I'm not a front rower because, ouch.
Down the back they go for Fortes, a quick ball for Peltier to work with. Now with Tessier again, just trying to put a little kick in over the top, but it's been really well read at the back by Portia Woodman-Wycliffe. Through 1 and 2, and then Tukuafu in support. Got ball and the hit from behind by Flo Simons. But there's the threat of Portia Woodman-Wycliffe, attack the ball in flight, and away she went.
You just hear the crowd immediately get on their feet when she catches the ball. Beats 3 defenders, and then Flo Simons bomb far in behind Tukuafu. It was almost like she didn't expect it, but the scramble BD by Canada.
Okay, we'll play her down.
What a crunching tackle there by Simons, but Woodman-Wycliffe, we need more of that.
We good?
You could just hear the crowd get up on their feet. I got up on my feet when I saw her run like that. She is so dangerous. And you can see every time she gets a bit of momentum behind her, she's got a big smirk on her face because she can hear the crowd and how much she means to them. So good to have her back playing.
Okay. Let's scrum. Time is back on.
30 minutes to play. 12 all, no score in the second half. Bench is starting to come on and into effect. This match delicately poised. Well, there hasn't been anything delicate about it, except the scoreline. Peltier brings it away. And now here's Simons in attack and almost through the line. A little half gap, and Gallagher stayed in support. Oh, gee, Claire Gallagher's taken a shot there, but she's bounced straight back up. Gabrielle Senft onto the 10-metre line. Canada's turn just to press. A little bit of concerted period with ball in hand. As nobody misses in the defensive lines, respectively. Roos it is who sends Royer back. Peltier distributes well again. Mena nice and hard, but no way through. Kalunavale and Veliko. Quick recycle of possession. Simons does well and gets the arms free for Shell. Canada keeping the ball alive well. Back they come, still on the 10-metre line though, and the defensive pressure tells. Bremner scoops up the loose ball for New Zealand. Hohaya now for demand. Shape to kick, spins it wide again. Sorensen McGee going herself. Braxton Sorensen McGee has put New Zealand 50 metres upfield with a searching run. It's slow and eventually there for Olsen Baker. Once again, the Canadians do well to regroup in defence. Kalunevale. Someone looking to break this game open. Hohaya into Mines and Scrabbed. We'll need someone to play halfback. Kulonevale will pick and go. And that momentum from the Sorensen-McGee surge just tapped for a moment. Now Hohaya brings it away. Brunt puts it on the toe. Space in behind here. Acres of space for Aisha Letiianga. A little way try to give New Zealand the lead.
And that is the Black Ferns flair that we have seen multiple times that we are missing. But Braxton Sorensen McGee, it started from her, beating 3 or 4 defenders, just running into space. Alicia Corrigan ended up getting back, but Iritana Wahaya, she got smacked. But Brunt, just that little nudge in behind for Aisha Letianga to run onto. We've said her name quite a few times in the last couple of weeks because she has just made a huge difference after coming back from that injury. She is just playing the best rugby that I've ever seen her play in a long time, full of confidence and thriving.
Conversion goes over, Demand adds 2 more, and New Zealand jump out. They strike first in the second half to lead 19-12.
Well, unfortunately, Fancy Bermuda's just got caught in no man's land. She was in between 2 players. She wasn't marking anyone, and then it was the vision of Brunt to see that Letianga was there. You can hear Letianga before you can see her. She was screaming for the ball, and she responded. Great to see. Change as well for Canada. I've just seen Leticia Royer be carried off injured. She is hobbling off, so Tyson Bukaboom, my favourite surname in world rugby, she's onto the field.
Most capped international for Canada, 72nd cap for Tyson Bukaboom in jersey 19.
Let's go.
And Canada's turn to respond again. Tessia sends it away to Tukuafu. Ohio clears for Demand again. Some space in behind here, but Bermudez has read it well. And Fancy Bermudez, just a chance to wind back up and go almost through, just tipped up by Ponsonby. But a nice little incursion from Bermudez. Now Gallagher for Tessier. Good spot tackle made by Letianga, and it's going to be Canada ball though. Last touch came off the New Zealand winger.
Not forwarding to touch, so it's an option from a line out.
Tell you what, Alex Tessier has taken some shots in this match, the Canada captain.
Time off. We have an HIA.
Up she gets again, well, just about.
HIA.
Yeah, she's a strong one, that's for sure. Aisha Letianga, the timing is right, but ouchies, she was just able to nick the ball off her hand, causing it to go forward. But Tessier, she is an incredible Canadian player. Player stats there, 6 carries, 18 metres made. They may not be high numbers, but they are impactful actions that she always makes on the field.
No foul play. You're already down.
Just an update as well. Coming off
Yeah, no, I have the 2 months.
is Iritana Wahaya. She's gone for an HIA. And so Maya Joseph had a short-lived stay on the bench, and there has been a change, a permanent change for Canada. Olivia Apps, one of the 4 Sevens players who has come straight back into the team. She replaces Pelletier, who I think has had a very good game.
Okay, so scrum to red. Knocked on into touch. Water off, please.
Well, there is Olivia Apps, captain of the Olympic silver medal winning Sevens team. Just a heart and soul of their program. We talk about Sevens players coming in, but Canada very much have an integrated one squad philosophy. These teams, players have trained a lot together. Many of these Sevens players were in WXV last year, so the learning curve not quite as quick. Liv Apps yellow carded in this match this time last year as well.
Crouch!
I'll never forget the post-match shot of her being lifted up in the air and thrown around like a rock star.
She feeds the scrum. Canada inside New Zealand territory, and away comes Apps for Gallagher. A little move that is well read by New Zealand as Bermudez gets the full weight of Kaipo Olsen-Baker in defence. Now Courtney O'Donnell. Little hole here for McKinley Hunt. Canada pressing Olsen-Baker. Yeah, wanted a couple of goes, looked but couldn't. Now what's the option here for Canada?
Kaipo Olsen-Baker, she actually was such a worker in that passage of play. She made a tackle and then sized up her options and then wrapped around the ruck to then make that next tackle onto Bukaboom. It was impressive work by her, but unfortunately the turnover was just a little bit mistimed. She came around the side rather than through the gate, which allowed Canada to get the penalty. Last 5 penalties conceded. Look at those ones from the Black Ferns. That could cause a little bit of damage later in the game, which we do not want. Canada, discipline from the Black Ferns, let them down a little bit last week. So they want to tidy that up.
Got another HIA assessment. This time it is on Tessier, the captain. So Shoshana Silmanatapa comes on, and she's been very familiar with the Black Ferns players. Obviously part of the Chiefs Manawa squad, played a couple of games for them, as well as the counties Manukauhi. But it has been a very physical game, hasn't it?
Attritional at the moment. Independent doctors and of course smart mouth guards as well, just checking these players. So a couple being assessed now as that rolls off the fingertips but lands for Delika Menon. So Canada with Forteza. Abiola Forteza, part of this hard-working loose trio. Away it comes to Tosi. Shovels it away, but Semps can't handle. And New Zealand go forward with Veliko. Maya Joseph back on the field. First time we've seen her kick. It's a bit of an awkward one. And Apps brings it down on halfway. Olivia Apps to the 10-metre line. Flat and hard. Canada will just keep working away, trying to punch holes through the New Zealand defence, but they can't go through the defences of Kaipo, Olsen, Baker. And her breakdown thievery. Now Apps will win it back.
Oh, we've seen her do that so many times on the 7 series. The accuracy that you need at the breakdown to retain your ball and get the turnover. Olivia Apps. How smart of her to pick and choose the right time when to go for that. But Kaipo Olsen Baker, she hasn't been on for long, but she has made a huge impact. Just making that turnover there before as well. She's just able to get such low centre of gravity, and she's so strong and stable over the ruck. She's hard to move. When she sees that ball, she grabs it.
Oh, Black Fern Player of the Year last year, and she's well and truly in form again this year.
Big opportunity here for Canada again. Totosi down the back. Brought away. And Canada going to keep it in tight. And add a few more in just to add a bit of weight and now get a good rumble forward. First time we've really seen either team try and rumble away from the rolling wall. They've got advantage as well. As Apps sends a big ball for Simons, who does well with it. Rather, it was Seal Manatafa.
Just straight off your feet there.
They'll go back and play for the penalty at the maul, which collapsed as we head into the final quarter of this match.
One black.
Yeah, Canada will look to hold on to this territory deep into the red zone of the Black Ferns. They've gone for a line out. Gallagher looking to get 5 metres out of that try line. Turn some of this territory into points.
Just time off here as Tanya Kolonovale readjusts her boot. Very important in what will be highly likely more defence.
Less than 100 days until Rugby World Cup 2025 for these women. New Zealand in Pool C, Canada in Pool B. If it goes to seedings, they would meet in a semi-final, but a lot of water under the bridge and other teams to have a say about that. But it is starting to draw closer. Canada drawing closer to the New Zealand, looking to pull level again. 20 minutes to play. Totosi again hits the target. It's not going to go far, and they will rumble forward again. O'Donnell comes to add weight. Totosi's got it in the back. She's got a nose for the try line. They're really good at executing in this area, but New Zealand have just stopped them, just got in to disrupt, but they've conceded a penalty. Canada playing under advantage. So Apps has a little dab herself and goes over Olivia Apps. Off the bench, onto the score sheet, adds impact, and Canada pull one back.
A well-executed try by Canada. They opted for the 5-man line-out, which allowed the Black Ferns having to spread their defence. Here we go, here's going from the front and then driving with only 5, and then that's when you see Courtney O'Donnell come in, then Pakan, and then just brute strength, just holding the Black Ferns out of that maul, and Olivia Apps doing what normally the forwards would do, and just going for it, going herself, getting over the try line. Man, we got a game on our hands.
Well, that try off the back of two good driving mauls, first getting them down there, and then secondly, the one that gave them another penalty advantage. Apps was the benefactor, but that four-pack has been working hard.
Big kick for Julia Schell. It'll stay away. So New Zealand just with their noses in front by 2 points. 19 points to 17. 19 minutes to play after the try by Olivia Apps.
Another change for Canada. Gillian Bogue, she comes onto the field and replaces Emily Tutosi in the front row at hooker.